You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Batter Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 377 of the Battle Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Ganada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
Dude, I'm lit. I'm ready for this week.
You're lit like
I'm ready.
Yeah, it's PSG week. It's revenge week. It's Messi's birthday. A lot of things going on right now this week, and a lot of things to look forward to. But before we get into any of that stuff, let's revisit last night's game. It kicked off 24 hours ago. So we're a little under a day since it finalized. 2-2 draw. I think if we would have spoken to each other on this show with the chat at 9 o'clock last night, and we would have said, hey, this game might end up 2-2 draw, and you move on to the knockout rounds, I think everybody says, hell yeah. Take that to the bank. Everybody's excited. Everybody is thrilled. And then 2 hours later, everybody felt kind of disappointed. But we now have 24 hours to marinate, Chris. How you feeling?
Well, I think that's what happens when you completely exceed the expectation so quickly in the game. And in a dominant fashion, to be honest. Like, we played better than anyone would anticipate in the first 80 minutes. So I think after watching, you're like, dude, the tie is unacceptable. But then you tie, and it's like, well, okay, I got no other choice but to walk away with this. It's like what Miami King says. It's a bittersweet night.
Well, Justin Blair is trying to hype us up right here. Let's effing go into Miami. Got this in the bag. I mean, I don't know if I would say that, but I will say house money is a beautiful thing. But before we talked about PSG, because I do want to talk about PSG, revisiting Palmeiras. So looking back at the game now, right? I wasn't able to find a way to rewatch it. I tried.
You have to pay $1 gajillion to the zone to get premium,
right?
Whatever.
So I couldn't rewatch it, but thinking back after 24 hours, are you feeling a little better? Because I know we were a little sour last night when we first got on here.
I rewatched the highlights. Okay. And even rewatching the highlights, it's completely worthless. Like, the game played out the way that it did. You got crushed yesterday. You just kind of have to marinate with where you're at today. And like you said, sports is a magical thing. Lining it up to play PSG in the first round. And we talked about this before on the phone, privately amongst each other. Like, PSG is a good opponent to have, because if we lose, we can't really say we lost to some schmuck. And if we win, it's like, well, we just beat the greatest supposedly in the world.
Yeah.
So it's a good place to sit in.
But yesterday, the Palmeiras game.
Shout out to Mr. Beast in the chat.
Looks like Destiny wants them to face. Yeah, absolutely. Looking back at yesterday, Palmeiras, I thought Mascherano came out with the game plan that we expected. Well, kind of. Because we want in this tournament with we feel like a lot of the teams might be superior as far as roster goes. We wanted to sit back and beat teams on the counter.
Yeah.
And Mascherano did that, so hats off to him for doing it. But I love that when we did have possession, they weren't rushing it.
Yeah.
They weren't like, okay, I end it, take off, and we're just going to send it. They countered when they saw the opportunity to counter. But when they didn't, they were patient with the ball. They for a lot of people thought that they would get run out that midfield, that the midfield that Palmeiras had would completely annihilate our midfield. But that wasn't the case at all. I felt like our midfield was a strength. I thought that Busquets and Redondo were key to breaking up that because they were pressuring. They were pressuring that back line, did a great job. Again, Noah Allen to me stood out so much with his poise as far as not committing any errors or forcing anything when being pressed. The one touch passes, beating that press, and then Redondo and Busquets, they were the perfect outlet and they found the players in space. Like, to me, the game plan was great. The midfield was great. And if Redondo doesn't get injured or cramp up or whatever it was, and Segovia doesn't come off, we hang on to this game. Because what happened, in my opinion, Redondo came off in the 77th minute. So what happens in the last 12 to 15 minutes is at that point, we're holding that low block, but we're not keeping possession anymore. It's like, clear it, and then we'll defend again. We have nothing to do with the ball anymore. Our midfield disappeared once Redondo and Segovia left. And then it was just Palmeiras on our ass, attacking, because we couldn't hold on to the ball anymore. And I felt like that's what the difference was. I thought Redondo, for all the crap that we give him, had a great game. I think he was probably one of the best players on the pitch yesterday, and he was key to the first 80 minutes. And also, I think the lack of Redondo was the key for Palmeiras in the last.
I feel like the lack of Segovia was big too. And before I get into my point, Justin Blair here with a super slam. I'll go ahead and I'll make the sound here.
He's a caca.
He says, we know Miami is the real Inter. They'll beat PSG. Shout out to you, Justin. Much appreciated.
And obviously he's referring to Inter Milan, which played against PSG in the Champions League final, and PSG put 5 on their heads. And something that I know this is, I'm sorry, Chris, but let me just say this one thing before I forget, because I forgot to say it yesterday.
Yeah.
We drew. I understand. That sucks. But
it sucks.
Something that I forgot to say last night and I meant to. Palmeiras is having an amazing run on Copa Libertadores. They're having a good season. In their last 12 games before yesterday, 9 of those games, they held a clean sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So for Miami to come out and score 2 on them, like, we got to give a lot of credit to the attack also, because they also created chances in which they didn't convert. So shout out and much props to Inter Miami from top to bottom, from Mascherano all the way down to Ustari, because the fact that Palmeiras has just been shutting teams out left and right. Look at Porto. Was it Al Ali put 4 on their head?
Yeah. That was tough. I mean, look, with the game yesterday, you're mentioning how it hurt to take off Redondo. He had a great game yesterday. And Segovia, I felt like that hurt just as much, if not more, because at least there was a little bit more organization in the middle. There was a little bit more comfortability with people handling the ball in the middle, especially with Segovia being able to share that responsibility with Messi. Now that you take him off, now Messi is the one that's essentially responsible. I mean, alongside Jordi Alba, but he is not, he doesn't have the handle, I guess, as much as Segovia does, especially in the middle of the pitch.
I'm sure we're going to get into this topic, Leonardo, after this tournament's over. But just to answer you real quickly, do you think Miami needs to make a trade for an MLS run? I think that this team should be good enough to win, because I feel like a lot of people and especially people that don't watch the MLS in general, kind of look at Miami and they're like, oh man, this team needs more. This team needs more. If you look at other MLS rosters, you won't recognize just about any name. And if you think that our roster is depleted, look at the other teams in the MLS. I promise you, they're working with probably less than we have. We have, and I think that there will be 0 people that watch the MLS that will disagree, that say that we don't have the best roster in the league. And even with that, I understand people are like, oh yeah, but we need better defenders, we need better wingers. I get it, right? But the way this league is set up, we have a salary cap. We don't have unlimited money to work with. And even with that, we have the best roster from top to bottom in this entire league. So yes, and then also I do believe that we're bringing somebody in the summer window.
It could happen. I mean, look, like I said earlier, am I happy with where we sat? I guess okay. Could have been better, obviously. it doesn't make me feel better 24 hours later. I don't feel any better. I don't feel any better. I don't feel any worse. I mean, I'm just accepting of the situation. I'm just here saying, okay, we got the tie. We didn't have too high expectations. Okay, I'll sit here like a good little kid, and I'll take whatever treats you guys give me.
Now, one thing that I will tell you that sucked, and again, I don't want to. We're not getting into this. Isn't a PSG preview, okay?
No.
Okay, so we're not going to get in depth on the PSG game, but I will say, in a hypothetical world where we beat PSG, which really sucks that we thought that we had avoided maybe Bayern in the next round, but because they lost to Benfica today, it's Flamengo and Bayern playing to see who plays against PSG or Inter Miami. So it looks like in a hypothetical world where everything goes right and Inter Miami keeps winning, they have a possible run of PSG, possibly Bayern, and then in the semifinals, Real Madrid, maybe a final against Manchester City. So, again, all hypotheticals.
Bring on Milan, baby.
Yeah, but that's their path after today. I thought got a little bit more difficult, but okay,
Danny,
I'm sorry, Mr. Krabs. The way I say Bayern, I'm sorry, Bayern, not Bayern. Bayern.
So the good question here, Danny, is: are expectations met? Did we not meet expectations? Did we exceed expectations? How do you feel about that? Because go ahead.
I was going to say what we said, as long as we get out of the group stage is a success. I feel like we exceeded the expectations.
I'm going to agree with you there. I think we definitely exceeded expectations.
We didn't lose any games.
Our worst performance was against the team we expected to beat. And our best performance, aside from, the tie, in my opinion, this game against Palmeiras was our best performance.
For the first 80 minutes, absolutely.
Yes. And that was against the team that people had the expectations that we were going to get dominated by. So,
yeah, because we always thought that this would be the hardest opponent.
Yeah, we beat Porto. We tied against Al Ahly. And we we tied against Palmeiras, but in reality, we had that in the bag. So I'm going to say we exceeded expectations in this competition. On to the Sweet 16, and time to give Paupowski to Ratatouille.
But no matter how the PSG game ends up. And by the way, the game is at noon on Sunday.
Yeah, so weird, man. That sucks.
Such a horrible time to put at noon. Like, I get it. It's a world tournament, so they want to accommodate other parts of the world, and which makes sense. Oh, God, it's so brutal. And then luckily they're playing in Atlanta, so it's in a dome. But, man, if they were playing anywhere else, that's a brutal time to be playing a game.
This is Mr. Krabs is asking, Al Ahly was our worst performance. I didn't say Al Ahly was our worst performance. I said that we tied against them.
The first half of the Al Ahly game, I think, was the worst performance.
And I'm not saying that because we tied, Mr. Krabs, because we tied against our last game in Palmeiras. Against Palmeiras, we tied. And that was our best performance. We performed better against Palmeiras than we did against Porto, in my opinion.
Isaiah is asking, are you guys going? No, I the way my bank account is set up, I'm poor, so I cannot go. But I will tell you that I did receive an email. Now that you say that, and if you are a season ticket holder, I would look out for this. We made it to the round of 16, and Inter Miami is offering tickets for for Inter Miami fans. And they're going to be seated in section 119, I believe it is, over there in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So if you are looking to go, check your email address.
Hold on, Danny. Jose, come over here. I want to ask you a question. I want to ask Jose a question.
Okay.
Is that okay? Because he's awake and he's here trying to grab a bag of Cheetos. Come over here, Jose. You're not going to come? Okay, forget about it. Let's go to Tony with a super slam here. Tony with a 199 super slam. Much appreciated. He says, we need the MLS stop restricting us and the league. I think that this is, now that we're getting into the Sweet 16 more than not, you're going to see where the detriment of the roster rules play against us. Because now we're playing against top quality. Now the quality is going to kick in.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah, no. And I wanted to have a show on the MLS channel, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring up the topic now. But I think that Inter Miami doing well in this tournament might be to the detriment of that happening.
Andres is saying, I'm from Atlanta and we'll go again with my kids. You're in for
nice.
You're in for a sweet game, Andres.
Absolutely. And again, if you're a season ticket holder, check out your emails because you might have received that also.
So expectations are not just met, but exceeded. In your opinion, in my opinion, chat, did we meet expectations, exceed, or not meet expectations? I feel like we exceeded expectations.
Yeah, no, we exceeded them. And then I finally found the email. So for season ticket holders, you got an email. You log into the FIFA fan portal by clicking the button above, which gives you a link. You register as an Inter Miami fan, and then you'll buy tickets in the designated section, which is 119.
Nice.
Which is what people were complaining. Which people were complaining that didn't happen for the Al Ahly game. So now they're doing it, and they're doing it for this game. And you make sure if you're listening to this on replay, I hope it's before Wednesday at 10 a.m. because the deadline to purchase those tickets is Wednesday, June 26th at 10 a.m. So make sure you look out for that.
Oh, by Inter Miami for real. Good job by Inter Miami. There we go. Now we're doing it right. So Clint is saying exceeded. Andres saying exceeded.
Javier 01 is saying that PSG is going to win this game in the first 10 minutes, I guess.
Who's saying that?
Javier 01.
In 10 minutes, PSG win. That's what you're saying, Javier. You're in here talking that smoke. You're talking that smoke.
It's okay.
So, Danny, it's somebody's birthday today.
It's
Messi's birthday today.
It's the GOAT's birthday. And I wanted to sing happy birthday, but Chris told me that he doesn't want to. So no happy birthday singing. But I wanted to sing happy birthday to the GOAT.
Well, yes. We'll all sing in our mind in unison.
It sounds like something that will be right up Chris's alley, but he said he refused. So, But yes, it's Messi's birthday. He turns 38 years old. If you think about it, if he stays until 2027, which some people, I always thought he would stay through 2026. Some people have speculated that he might stay till 2027, which I think is crazy. I would love it, but I didn't think that would happen. But if that happens, he's going to be with us until the age of 40. So that would, at that point, he would be with us until the age of 40. That's 2027. He got here, 2023? That's 4.5 seasons. That's nice. You get to go for 4.5 seasons. You get to see him right off into the sunset. Man, that's a dream. I am soaking in every moment I get to watch of Messi, because no matter how you feel about Messi, and some people are weird about, the Messi fans, like, who cares? Appreciate what you see on the pitch, because you'll never see something like that again. Even at his age, there was a video, and I think I sent it to you on Twitter, of the way he was playing and running around the Palmeiras defenders, and man, you're not gonna see that again. So just embrace it, take it in, and happy birthday, Messi, number 38.
So, Danny, now that we got we got Palmeiras out of the way, right? We know that we exceeded these expectations. And then, of course, Messi's blowing his candles out somewhere in South Florida, or maybe somewhere else. Hopefully not Argentina, because Boca got their stuff split today by Ackland.
This wasn't on the topic list, but how I think Inter Miami deserves to have a berth into Copa Libertadores. I think they do well in there. I mean, will they beat the top Brazilian teams in Brazil? I don't know, but I bet you they could beat just about all the Colombian teams, all the Ecuadorian teams, all the Peruvian teams. Like they could beat those teams. Like let them into the Copa Libertadores. Let's see what happens. I have a feeling that they would have a nice long run in Copa Libertadores. And could you imagine Messi getting to play against Boca or against River or against I don't know. I don't know who's classified next year. The season is over here. But could you imagine playing in Argentina again as an Inter Miami player? Like I think that after watching them in this tournament, there should be a berth into Copa Libertadores.
Yeah, there should. I think that would be good. But Danny, we got PSG coming up. Now, PSG, from what I've been looking, so I was just looking at where they're sitting in their group. They're obviously number one, but they're tied with Botafogo and Atletico Madrid. 6 points, all three of them. Of course, the Seattle Sounders are on the bottom. They do have a goal differential of 5 from what I see here. So PSG is number one in that group. And they beat Seattle Sounders, they beat Atletico Madrid, and they lost against Botafogo 1-0. So they bleed red. They bleed red just like the rest of us.
Okay. With the run that they've had so far, obviously the most impressive thing that they've done, which is the biggest thing you can do as a club up until maybe the Club World Cup, and even then, I still think that it's considered the biggest thing you can do as a club, is win the UEFA Champions League.
Yes.
I think that is still considered, if you win that, you are the best club in the world, right? That's just the way it is. No matter what people think, that's just the way it is right now. But with the results that they've had so far, does that give you any hope for Miami against PSG? Because I think that you see how everybody's like, oh yeah, I saw somebody put like, oh, PSG is gonna put 7 on Inter Miami's head, and Javier 101 said that, oh, they're gonna win in the first 10 minutes. Well, I'm sure that people thought that about the Seattle Sounders, and somehow they only beat them by 2, and we are a far superior club than the Seattle Sounders. And I believe one of those goals was off a deflection. It was almost an own goal. So does that give you a little more hope going into this game?
It does. I mean, the fact that they kind of, spanked Atletico Madrid, that gives me a little, that gives me a little bit of a nerves in terms of what's going on there, because Atletico Madrid is apparently a really good team. And for those of you that say, I don't know who any players from PSG, guys, I play enough FIFA to know that there's enough gold rare cards. Okay, so I know that. Now, other than that, I'm not scared of PSG, bro. You play in the weakest league in the world. You're the best.
Yeah, but they won the best and hardest tournament in the world, though.
Because they make a gajillion dollars. They play against teams that pay Happy Meals to their players. Okay, they've won 10 out of the 15 times that French league. Okay, and other than that, I looked at this. The next team that's the best that won the championship was in 2020, 2021, a team named Lille. Lille, other than being in first in 2020, they dropped to 10th in 2021, then in 5th in 2022, then in 4th in 2023, and then 5th in 2024. I'm not scared of PSG. Get out of here. Danny.
No, I was going to say, Palmeiras, the reason that we felt all of a sudden a little confident that we could draw, at least I felt confident we could draw, is because they didn't have any finishers. Estevao, yeah, he could take somebody on one-on-one, but it's like Emerson. Yeah, you could take people one-on-one, but what are you doing afterwards? You couldn't finish. Facundo Torres, inconsistent finishing. That Roque guy supposedly horrible finisher. I don't know much about him, so I'm not going to talk too much about him. So that was it. So we're like, okay, if they're not good in the attack, maybe we can sit back and maybe we can hold it off and maybe we can score a goal here or there and hold on for a draw, which we did. PSG is a whole nother animal. They've played the first 3 games without Dembele. Dembele is apparently coming back for this game. So because when Dembele wasn't playing these games, I didn't all of a sudden think that Inter Miami could win. But I was like, okay, well, Dembele's not playing. That's a positive. I found out today, I started seeing reports, oh, Dembele's back. He's back. And the speed that PSG has, and Sagada is saying Dembele doesn't make PSG any better. The speed that Dembele and the rest of that team has is something that Miami has not seen yet. They have not seen this speed yet.
Listen, if we can unlock Yannick Bright, it's game over for these guys. It's game over for these guys. Are you with me, Danny? Are you with me? If we unlock Yannick Bright, it's game over for PSG.
Yeah, I don't know.
So then what are your expectations?
Not losing by 5.
Oh, wow, man. So
You
you're
know,
out here really thinking like we're gonna lose.
No,
you're gonna be like all these other clowns. They're like, oh,
no,
we're gonna lose. Oh, PSG. Oh, my God.
But look, Chris, I know that you like to gas bag. I get it. But if you're talking realistically, they are the best club in the world right now.
I don't want to think about that. Like, I mean, I do, right? Like, I have no other choice but to notice that they won big stuff and big championships. I get it. But Mr. Happy, yes, 3-1. Inter Miami's taking this. Okay.
Akeem, yeah, and then down their fullbacks, Hakimi and Nuno. Nuno is a monster.
Yeah, he's got a really good gold card.
Then, and I forget how to pronounce this guy's name. Their right winger. He's 18 years old, and I always forget how to pronounce his name. The Due or I don't know. He's 18 years old. He's another baller. But they have a squad from top to bottom, Chris. So again, I'm not saying that we can win. I'm not saying that we're going to lose. And look, and he's saying Due is overrated. Esteval is overrated. Esteval that we saw against Palmeiras, that's Gabigol. All the hype that Gabigol had going into the English Premier League, that's who that is. This kid, I don't know. I think he looks a little more serious.
Listen, Danny, you need to stop right now. Jason L has entered the chat. Okay. And Jason L is serious, says in all seriousness, 4-2 Inter Miami. Jason L, good job on you, buddy. Here's a fist pound. Because this guy right here, he's already pooped his diapers.
And then what PSG
is?
That's what PSG is.
Yamal better than that duo kid. Yeah, okay. Yamal is one of the best players in the world right now, so that doesn't make that he's bad. So my expectations are put up a good game, defend for your life, take this to penalty kicks if you can. Even though Donnarumma is Donnarumma. I keep forgetting the kid's name. He's been playing since he's like professional since he's like 15.
Donnarumma.
He was like 15. He's been playing, but just defend for your life. Defend for your life, and hope for a counter with Allende or Suarez. Donnarumma, thank you.
I said that.
Yeah, but I didn't take you seriously.
Oh my God. Well, you know what, Danny? Take this seriously. Okay. You want to talk about Donnarumma? Nice scored 3 goals against them earlier this year. Strasbourg scored 2 goals against them earlier this year. Whatever. There's people putting up points on this guy.
Well, what are your expectations moving forward?
Well, you know what my expectations are.
And Soccer Daddy said PSG struggles with the low block. A lot of teams struggle with the low block. It's hard. It's hard to score on somebody that's defending for their lives, and that's what I think Inter Miami will do, should do. And yes, for Francisco there, letting you know it's not nice, it's nice. So I really do think that that's the plan. My expectations are to make it a competitive game. I am not going to say here that I believe 100% that PSG is going to win. I don't. I think that in football, especially when you have somebody like Messi on your team and you're playing with house money, anything can happen, because I think that's the perfect situation for a team like Inter Miami. House money. You have nothing to lose. Everybody's expecting you to get your ass kicked, like Javier once said, in the first 10 minutes. So if you manage to defend for your life and you go into the half 0-0, how are you feeling? All of a sudden, I'm feeling like, okay, hey, all we need is a little magic. But the key to me, at least, is to defend low block, just like you did. And unlike Palmeiras, I don't know if we can dominate that midfield like we did against Palmeiras. But look, that game plan worked, and I'd like to see something similar against PSG. Do I think that we'll win? No. Do I think 100% that PSG is going to win? No. I think that we have a chance to randomly shock everybody. It's not like PSG went undefeated all year.
You literally just said you're hoping we don't get scored on.
Your mic is messed up.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, yes, I did say
you hope we don't get scored on more than 5 times. And Sean,
because
PSG lost to Botafogo, we can smash and grab like they did. Listen, it's kind of like what Mascherano says. If Mascherano said it's 11 on 11 at the end of the day, you got to win and we got to defend, or we got to play, and we're going to take the game.
And Mona said impossible to dominate the midfield. I'm telling you, I don't think we can dominate the midfield like we did yesterday. What Redondo and Busquets did, I think, was great. It was unexpected, in my opinion, at least. I didn't expect them to do that against Palmeiras, but I do not think that they can do that against PSG. But look, PSG beat what's one of the best teams in the world, right? Last year, Inter Milan makes it to the final. They have to be considered one of the best teams in the world. They beat them 5-0. All of a sudden, Inter Miami comes out here and they lose by 1 or 2. I'm sorry, the rest of the world has to put some respect on Inter Miami's name, because Inter Miami had played one hell of a tournament. If they bow out against PSG, and if they somehow shock the world, what happens? That's my question to you and the chat. And again, this is hypotheticals, but anything can happen any given game. If Miami were to somehow beat PSG, what is the expectation?
I mean, we're taking the whole thing.
At that point, it has to be, right?
We're taking the whole thing. We're winning the whole thing. Club World Cup is ours. Bring Haaland, bring everybody.
Well, I told you what the road could possibly be, right? You beat what's supposed to be the best team in the world, PSG. You play against another world-class team that could have been champs last year, Bayern, as Mr. Krabs prefers that I call them. And then, if not that, Real Madrid, which is another juggernaut. I don't. Although I feel like if you beat PSG, you should be like, okay, maybe we can win this. I still don't think you should say that that's the goal, because there's such, like, the pieces in front of us are such difficult pieces, the way things ended up, because to have to go through PSG, Bayern, Real Madrid, and possibly Man City, and again, none of this is confirmed, right? The bracket is still alive and well, and it could still change, but that would be crazy.
Yes,
that would be crazy.
It would be, but I'm in it. I'm in it to win it, and I think honestly, if we do pass PSG, it's all open. And El Sai Congru, yes, we watch Miami games. I don't know why you question that.
I'm not sure.
Why?
I don't know what that means.
What do we do?
Yeah.
Do you think
if
Google the scoreline for every post game?
If for some reason, not for some reason, if hypothetically Inter Miami beats PSG and they end up playing against Munich, are you going to go in there and be like, "Oh, I said we got to win"? Because I still think that that's another crazy team that it's going to be very difficult to beat.
Well, we talked about this, right? Like after PSG, the expectations I think are going to waver. I think it's not going to be like, oh, we made it out of the group, Sweet 16, got kicked out by PSG. Like, no, if we pass PSG, I think the expectation changes.
I don't think so. I think at that point you're just like, hey,
I'm
house
good
money.
For the ride.
Hey, if we lose to Bayern, it was a great ride, and let's see, let's live to fight another day. If we beat Bayern, all of a sudden playing against Real Madrid, hey, house money. Let's see if we could do this, and it's been a great ride. And I think that's what's best about Miami's situation is that it's house money all the way through.
Mike V is saying we ballot in the quarterfinal. That's it, and that is
Mike V. Didn't you predict semifinal or was it quarterfinal? But I know Mike V predicted one of the two, either quarterfinal or semifinal.
I think it was semifinal, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, look, Mr. Krabs is saying the same thing. We've been playing with house money, so it's okay. Elizabeth saying I think anything after this is bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, Kevo. Prediction: Inter Miami 5-3 PSG. Messi hat trick, Suarez brace. Let's go.
Yeah, look, I love the position we're in. All the pressure's on PSG. Could you imagine going into the half and in the 43rd minute, somehow Allende just catches the perfect ball on a counter and he finishes. And all of a sudden we go up 1-0 into the half. Could you imagine the PSG players, the PSG fans? Like, the pressure's all on them. It's house money. I feel really good. Now, I will tell you one thing, and I didn't hear it myself, but I did see it going around on Twitter, that Noah Allen either said or implied that they would have preferred Botafogo. I kind of wish he wouldn't have said that. No, I didn't see it. I don't know if it's true. But if he did say that, I kind of wish he wouldn't have said that. I don't want to know that they're going into these games. Like, I understand that the fans can do that, but as a player, if you want any chance to win, you got to psych yourself up to believe that you can win. Because if you go in there thinking like, I don't know, we'll try our best, but we probably can't win, I really think that that's rough.
Well, I think the problem is you just want the coach speak of we play whoever's in front of us and we'll
absolutely
play whoever's in front of us.
Mr. Krabs, where did you hear that? I saw it on Twitter. I have to find who was that said it. Yeah, Chris.
So go ahead and look for that. Travis is asking, so Chris, you're on the sideline with the coach. What's your game plan under this kind of pressure? Because the heat will be there. So, I mean, what are you talking about? Like in the pressure against PSG? I mean, I'm not a coach, right? Like, what's the game plan? You want to know what my game plan is, Travis? My game plan is put either Segovia or Ben Krem to work centrally with the team and not put them at the wings. That's where I would start first. Bright, if he's available and he's 100%, start Bright.
Well, we're not going to do the preview right now, but
we're
going to have an episode. We're going to have a PSG, and I sent the DM to the PSG INT guy that people told me about yesterday. He didn't reply, so I actually tweeted at I commented on one of his tweets. So if he doesn't reply by tomorrow morning, we got to start scrounging for another PSG person. And then for those asking, it was Franco Panizo actually that put that Noah Allen admitted that they probably would have preferred Botafogo.
That's Saga Daddy's saying he didn't reply. He is clown. I don't know. We're trying to reach out. We want somebody out there that loves PSG that can come on the program. Hopefully we can get him by the Eiffel Tower. I mean, if not, so be it.
And El Cangru, yeah. And they're also going to have Dembele, which was missing also. So we'll see. It's going to be fun for Miami fans just because, like I said, at this point, we exceeded the expectations because nobody really expected much. So at this point, we're just along for the ride. So we'll see. And then Beast is saying Luis Enrique knows Messi. Knows Messi and Barca boys very properly. Don't you think they might know how to stop them? Luis Enrique, he coached them like over 10 years ago at this point. Like he won the Champions League with them in 2015. Like they've changed. they don't play the same way. They're a lot more technical mentally than they are with their physicality. Luis Suarez doesn't play like he did when he was under Luis Enrique. So yeah, he knows them, but they've changed the way that this team plays with the pieces that we have changed. So no, I don't think that's going to matter.
Jason Ellis saying, I actually respect the honesty from Noah Allen. I was going to say this. I was going to say that I think it's fresh to be able to see that Noah Allen is telling you he prefers one over the other. I mean, PSG, like, is it wrong for him to think that? Like, PSG is supremely a better team than Botafogo, no? Like,
I'd have to hear how he said it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if he's like, yeah, obviously you PSG is somebody that you want to avoid until later rounds or something like that. But you know, it all depends on how you said it. But definitely, if you want any chance to win, you have to believe that you can win. But
Mike V's hurting. He says he hasn't watched the 90 Day Fiance since the Club World Cup started.
Oh man, I'm such a big 90 Day Fiance fan, but I stopped watching it in November of 2023. I want to say, so I'm quite a bit behind. But for 10 solid years, I was watching 90 Day Fiance every Sunday night. But they have so many spin-offs now that it's hard to keep up. All right, and Mascherano versus his former coach. Yes, Luis Enrique knows everybody from Barcelona very well because he was with them for a while, and back when they won the Champions League Cup in 2015 and around that time. All right, Chris. Don't respect anyone that watches such an awful show. Stancy, that is, first of all, it's a great show, and two, Chris, have you heard about the stupid Love Island? It's like,
yeah, man, everybody's going crazy.
It's so look. I think reality TV is stupid as hell. 90 Day Fiance is the only one that I've been managed to get into. But you know what really annoys me the most about this Love Island?
They're having watch parties at the mall.
It's because social media turns things into cult followings, and it becomes such a popular thing. It's like, oh, gotta get in on it. And all of a sudden, there's watch parties. It's like, what have we come to as a society that you have watch parties for a reality TV show?
It's awful.
Oh my god! I mean, I can't say much because we have watch parties for sports and stuff, but come on, that's wild to me. I could not believe when I saw that. I was like, I've never watched the show. I plan on never watching it, and let's keep making these people famous.
Well, I mean, but in the same day that the show exists today, it exists in the same fashion tomorrow. The thing about sports is that once it's done, it's done. It's in the history books.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Soccer Daddy saying, let's do a watch along versus PSG. We should do it in person. Soccer Daddy, where you at? Let's go watch it somewhere together.
Yeah. Maybe we could watch it next to one of the bars that have Love Island going on.
All right. And Mike B says he misses the days of Flavor Flav.
Yeah. We got Spanish tonight, everybody.
Yes, 10 o'clock. We have Las Garzas en Español. Vice Rosa said, Danny, Chris, do you think if Miami gets through PSG and the winner between Bayern and Flamengo, do you think MLS will decide to change up the whole roster rules and salary cap? If Inter Miami keeps doing well, I don't see why they would.
I think that they would. I think if we get knocked out due to not having the sufficient substitution,
we already exceeded expectations, Chris.
Yeah, but dude, I think now that the MLS is now on the map of this tournament, like officially, we're like in the Sweet 16 here. Now I think that there's more eyes on it, and there's going to be articles written. There's going to be news outlets that are speaking about it.
People have been talking about this crap forever already. They've exceeded expectation. They said, oh, look, with our roster restrictions, we have parity in our league, and we can compete with the rest of the teams in the world. And if Miami beats PSG, forget about it. Nothing's changing.
Is there extra time or just penalties? And Miami King is saying extra time. I don't know what it is, whether it is extra time or penalties, but according to Mike V, our correspondent out in the streets right now, as we speak, Mike V is saying extra time. And then Bella, our other correspondent, is saying both. We'll keep you posted.
Yes. If they're tied after the 90 minutes, it will be 2 15-minute halves, so extra time. And then if they're still tied after the extra time, then they will go to penalty kicks.
And the Galf Wong is saying the podcasts are all calling it historic.
What, the
I
game?
imagine you're talking about the game against PSG.
Yeah. I mean, I guess technically. I mean, this is the farthest an MLS team has ever come, and we're playing against the best team in the world at the moment.
Allegedly, Google just reported to Juan de Oliveira extra time, then PKs.
Yep. And Duran WA saying the whole world wanted this game. That's what I wanted. House money, baby. All right. If we were playing against Botafogo, seeing how we played against Palmeiras, wouldn't you be saying like, "Oh, we want to win"?
Yes.
But because we're playing against PSG, we're like, "All right,
Yeah, it's
well,
PSG. Well, I mean, I want to
house
win
money."
against PSG.
I mean, obviously everybody wants to win, but against
Yes.
Botafogo, you're like, "Oh, you almost beat Palmeiras. Let's beat Botafogo." But against PSG, we're like, "Okay, let's try our best and let's see what happens."
Yeah, that's what I'm
would you
okay.
prefer?
I mean, obviously, I would prefer Botafogo because I think they would be more beatable according to our recent history of playing against Palmeiras.
Yeah, and then Vice versa saying that, and I saw this from PSG INT, saying that he's excited that PSG will play against Messi because Messi has to pay for his crimes against PSG. So I don't know. It should be interesting. And shout out to the PSG fan that joined us. Shout out to you, PSG fan. Let us know if there's anybody that we should bring on the show to talk about the PSG game. See if you have any podcasters or anybody that you listen to that maybe we can invite on the show, because I have a feeling the PSG INT is gonna not reply. All right, Chris. Any final thoughts?
Down in the chat, PSG fan, give us a couple channels that you go out with, that you watch or have heard of, so we can get in touch with them. You know what, Danny? I'm telling you right now, CS is saying PSG is the best club side in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. We're beating them. We're beating them. It's as simple as that.
Okay,
guys, we're winning.
Well, we'll see. We have six days. No, it's 5 days now.
Yes.
To keep talking about this game and see what happens. CS said that they love the confidence. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. And PSG fan hasn't written back yet, so we'll have to do the work. But we do this all the time. Like I said, we got somebody from Egypt. I'm sure. And it's probably a lot harder to find somebody from Egypt than it is a Paris fan. So I'm sure we'll find somebody.
Yeah, I think we'll be good.
All right. Las Garzas a las 10. So Las Garzas at 10 a.m. Inter Miami show in Spanish. If you want to keep talking Herons, join us at 10 o'clock. If you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And for those of you in the chat, as always, you guys are the best part of the show. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the last 48 minutes. And we'll be back to keep talking Inter Miami, PSG, probably tomorrow night. But like I said, keep that notification bell on, subscribe, and follow us on social media to make sure that you keep up, because we usually give you guys a heads up when we will be coming on. Oh, and happy birthday once again to the GOAT, even though Chris didn't want to sing him happy birthday. All right, so that's all for today. So until the next one, have a good one.